A narcissist is absolutely horrible at handling criticism. This is because the narcissist must appear perfect at all times, at least in public. And they have to, again, that superiority complex comes in because they cannot control their emotions. Criticism is a normal part of life. This is how we grow, especially for someone as self absorbed as the narcissist. They're the ones that may need that the most and may never get it ever. They make many, many mistakes whenever they deal with people. So they're constantly at risk of the dreaded criticism. Even constructive criticism that is delivered nicely is met with anger, and they don't display it outwardly sometimes. They feel it on the inside. And when they're receiving that criticism, watch the narcissist very, very closely. You will see them quietly seething, definitely at the very, very least. Narcissists are always worried about where this attention is coming from, or at whatever. Attention is narcissistic fuel or narcissistic supply. So they are dependent on this narcissistic fuel. It is their lifeblood. Almost they are almost bottomless pits for attention. It's like you're just throwing this attention into a void that will never ever be filled. And some narcissists struggle to even spend a few hours alone due to their need for external validation as to how great they are. But they don't want other people to know that they need them like this. This shows weakness in their eyes and something that they absolutely abhor. So the solution, the narcissist solution to this, and is their attention-seeking tactics. They might pretend to feel down to guilt trip you, cause an argument for negative attention because it's better than nothing, or ask to borrow something that they don't need and don't intend on returning. Narcissists live in a very precarious position where they need constant attention, but they don't want anybody to know that they need this attention. So it is very difficult for them. They nervously do find ways to achieve this, but it's always a problem that is on their mind. So the pressure to feel perfect for a narcissist, this is a big one. Sometimes it's easier to hold your hands up and admit making a mistake and apologizing if necessary. If you're a decent, good person, that's usually what happens. If you would even tell a lie to begin with, some at the caliber of the narcissist. Narcissists rarely do this. They maintain their delusions of perfection using their MO of deny, deny, deny. They blame others with all of these tactics to prove that they weren't wrong, but this will never give the narcissist closure. It's always going to be floating around in their head, and they will hold a grudge against you. Nobody can hold a grudge like a narcissist. Deep down, though, they understand that they are at fault, and in all reality, this is gnawing away at that narcissist, and they won't admit it to themselves, but it's still there. That feeling is still there, and they will outwardly project this feeling onto their nearest and dearest. So they're feeling the pressure cooker bubble for weeks, if not months on end. Many narcissists have many enemies. Some don't, and many, many do. They usually gain enemies throughout their life. These may be people that they have once tried to control but failed, people that they've taken advantage of, and they are actually fearful of bumping into these people again because they like to display a public persona of being nice, and they know that people would run a mile away from them if they really knew about things that they had done in their past and how they had treated other people. But yet still they want to be liked and adored, and that trumps over everything. So they dread running into an enemy, and as that enemy may expose them to the narcissist, for who they really are. And narcissists often nervously look over their shoulders when they're out in public. They're looking around while they're driving. And I have seen this many, many times, and I'm sure many of you have too, hoping not to bump into to certain people. Many of the times, and not always, it's old sources of supply, old friends, and even family members. The narcissist lives inside a pressure cooker, not a sauna, nothing even remotely comfortable at all. A pressure cooker that is boiling over with anxiety and worry. They want to appear unrealistically perfect, but they are burdened by their skeletons and their dark secrets in their closet. So their whole life is a competition for this attention and superiority combined with the emotional arrested development. And it's no wonder they are on edge all of the time. Narcissists rarely ever give themselves a break just to relax and be at peace. You'll never see a narcissist like meditating. You may here and there, but it's very, very doubtful. Like a malignant covert type narcissist, no way. They must be richer, better, and more intelligent than everybody, not just everybody in the room, but everybody on the planet. And they do live in a state of perpetual worry because they are desperate to be great, but sadly, they are fearful of reality and the dreaded truth.